at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. And a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
Paid for by Steel Man Pills. 800-261-7365. 800-261-7365. 800-261-7365. That's 800-261-7365.
In the jewelry business, there is no substitute for experience. David Adamson has over 46 years of experience, 32 of those in Lynn Haven. Designing and creating fine jewelry is more than a job for David, it's a joy. If you're looking for a spectacular jewelry design that says you, or perhaps you need your jewelry repaired, look no further than David Adamson Designer Jewelry. All work is done in-house and always to your complete satisfaction. Stop in today at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, 830 Ohio Avenue in Lynn Haven. They're on Facebook and at pcjeweler.com.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are live, you guys. We're doing live logo updates here in the doghouse. You guys are riding along with the Afternoon Underdogs, tuned into ESPN Northwest Florida. We are on your dial at 104.3 FM here in Panama City and 101.9 in Port St. Joe. I'm David Hayes, along with AG Adam Goff and Caveman Rick. Oh, man, what a blessing it is today to be talking some sports with you. Got to give a big thanks to Ryan Mathis and his daughter, Brooke. Today during the Inside Drive, they brought over some hedgehog burgers. That's the code name for a fast food restaurant just right around the corner from us over here. But, yeah, it was great. Very thankful for that. Brought us some cards as well and hooked me, Ryan, and Jay up with some cheeseburgers. So I really appreciate that. That was awesome, man. And also, yeah. And also, on top of that, finally found out what the prize package is going to be.
There we go.
For the big bracket challenge, the Bracket Buster Challenge, right here with ESPN Northwest Florida. Last I looked, we had about 66 teams. So with that being said, let's get this thing over 100 right now, because what you're going to win is a $250 gift card. When Randy told me that, I was like, okay, well, now I'm changing my bracket up a little bit, and I'm going to win this thing. I don't know if staff is actually eligible, and if not, I would give mine away to the next highest person, even though I could absolutely use that $250. But this is awesome, man. Y'all go to ESPNPC.com right now. Click on the Big Bracket Challenge. It'll take you to where you need to go and fill out that bracket. You've got till 11 a.m. in the morning to get in to the Big Bracket Challenge. $250 gift card, and you know how we do it, man. I don't know if you've ever came up here to get a prize package and just got what you received. Maybe there's some times where you just get that boot store gift certificate along with a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, but you know me, if there's a t-shirt laying around and you look interested in that, I'm trying to hook you up with it, man. Love to give stuff away here from the Afternoon Underdogs and, more importantly, ESPN Northwest Florida. AG, how's it going today, man? You having a good day?
It's going well, man. Going well. Been a busy week, but a lot of snowbirds leaving and spring breakers are here. And it's starting to get warm. Yesterday was weird, but nicer out today, so I'll take it.
Man, what that weather today, man. Walked out there a few minutes ago, no cloud in the sky. Just great stuff. Caveman Rick, how's your afternoon been going?
It's been going pretty good. Been busy today, unfortunately. Haven't been able to enjoy this great weather that we've been having. But I have been outside a little bit, so maybe I'll get a little bit outside after I get home this evening. It'll still be light out. Man,
I've just had a great day today. Just so thankful and grateful again for Ryan. Got to meet a few of our other listeners who came by and picked up some of their prize packages as well. Got to meet Eric yesterday when he picked up his tickets to Beat Down at the Beach. We're not going to be Beat Down and Beats too. We're not going to be giving any tickets away this week because this is our final show of the week, but we will double up next week and give 2 pairs of tickets away next week. We've got some info on the race to Talladega, and we will lead off next segment with that. But again, the ESPN Big Bracket Challenge, ESPNPC.com. Go right now, sign up, $250 gift card on the line for whoever picks the best bracket. Who's your champion?
Right now I've got Houston. I mean,
could change?
No, I don't think so. I think once I usually get my mindset on something, I kind of stick to it, right? So
yeah,
I got Houston over UConn in the championship.
So UConn gets all the way back?
Yes.
All right. Caveman Rick, who's your champ?
I got Houston as well.
Yeah.
And I have Houston over UConn as well.
Holy cow. Now, were you guys collusion? Oh, chalking it up? Chalking it up?
I did mine pretty quick, like 3 minutes. I got on the Big Bracket Challenge, just kind of went through it. 'Cause I think that's usually how I do it.
Yeah.
If you start trying to analyze everything, break it down, it's like paralysis by analysis, and you just tend to I think go the wrong way and overthink stuff too much.
I think a lot of the times that is very true because I end up paralyzed by analyzing. No doubt about that. I spent about an hour and 57 minutes longer than you on my bracket. Now also that has to do with being in the middle of the show. So the second hour of the Inside Drive yesterday, I was kind of going through some of the matchups, but I read every single preview. Now just the small little excerpts on the teams that's on the bracket challenge on ESPN.com. So not a boatload of reading, and then tried to compare, how is this team offensively and defensively. And I tell myself every single year, it doesn't matter that you're spending all this time doing it, but it is nice to kind of feel like you're at least somewhat, I wouldn't say that I'm knowledgeable about it, but I have obtained knowledge that will drift out of my brain as soon as I'm done reading it. ESPNPC.com, man. Go sign up right now for the Big Bracket Challenge. No Name is going to be closing down. Caveman Rick, you shared that in the group yesterday, in the Show Builders group. I'd seen it circulating on Facebook yesterday, but didn't see anything concrete about it. But then they actually posted on their Facebook page they will be closing their doors indefinitely. A practical negotiation could not be made to keep the business on the property that has remained on since the 80s. They don't have a specific closing date. I heard sometime in April, April 13th.
Yeah, 19th, somewhere in that window, I think, but
nothing official. So I know a lot of people are sad about that. We'll see what the future holds for No Name. My buddy Derek, he had his wedding reception over there at No Name, so that's probably one of my and Thanksgiving is that's the go-to place for people for Thanksgiving around here.
Just a big locals place.
Yeah. It is, man, and a beautiful view as well. High school baseball, Arnold blanks Lincoln yesterday, 6-0. Bozeman took down Bartlesville. Yeah, there you go. I don't know why that L was giving me so much trouble. I guess it was just a loss. I was at a loss of L's there. Inglewood beats Bayou. I'm wondering if that means Bay right there. That might just be a little typo. Inglewood beats Bay 9-8. St. James over Rocky Bayou Christian 8-0. Broken Arrow beats Mosley 6-3. Niceville over Leon 4-1. Lafayette beats Cottondale 6-4. Ponce de Leon over Poplar Springs, 14-4. Mariana, 5. Bluntstown, 1. Glenwood shuts out North Bay Haven, 12-0. And then Mosley, and I'm assuming their second half of the doubleheader, beats Washington 14-3, or second half of their spring break games, because all of our teams here in Northwest Florida are on spring break right now. In high school softball, you had St. John Paul II beat Poplar Springs 17-1, and it was Holmes by 10 runs over Childs, 13-3 tonight. Bozeman is already in progress, taking on Jinx. North Bay Haven Academy will be traveling to Lee Scott Academy. North Bay Haven is 4-7. Lee Scott is 8-4. That game started at 2, so it's getting pretty close to wrapping up. Union is 6-5. They will be traveling to 5-6 Mosley. That game at 4 p.m. And then Niceville, they are 5-4 on the road to Lincoln, who is 4-5. That game starts at 4 p.m. And again, with Max Preps, I don't know the locations of these games, so I'm not necessarily sure if Mosley is playing at the house or if they'll be on the road in one of those spring break tournaments. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter. You can like and share the Facebook feed and page. Follow us over there on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Download the app and register. Just go to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. My champion is actually going to be North Carolina. I've got UConn going down to San Diego State, and how San Diego State got there is by beating Auburn. Auburn is one of those teams that could really win this whole thing. I think Auburn's a very talented team. Obviously, what they've had Bruce Pearl over there for a decade. So this could be the year for the Auburn Tigers. But they even if they beat San Diego State, they're going to have to get through UConn. Why I like San Diego State over Auburn and over UConn is they have the ability to put out 5 seniors on the floor at one time. And say what you want, but when you get to this time of the year, experience matters. And having seniors in a world of the transfer portal is, I think that it could prove, not will, but could prove to be invaluable. So we'll see how that plays out. San Diego State had a little bit of a run last year, so I like the Aztecs, man. Now, you can't count out UConn and Coach Hurley's team, but what's a upset? We're in the next segment, 420, we're going to continue on with our underdog bets for March Madness. What Caveman Rick is doing is putting $1 on each and every underdog, not the lower seed, not the higher seed, just whoever the betting underdog is. We're going to put $1 on each and every one of those, and we're just going to we'll set the table, we'll bring up what the odds are, and then we'll give a confidence rating real quick. We want to try to get through that so that we can get to trivia, get to on this day, and then for hour number 2, hopefully we can try to fill out an entire bracket just by mascot fights.
Okay.
So there will not be a legitimate, I don't think it will not be a legitimate bracket by any stretch of the imagination, but it would be fun to talk about, especially have my friend Terry in the building with us. Whenever we used to do the Lisenby Lodge podcast, a lot of the conversations that he would bring up in a segment that we like to call Terry Talk was fights between certain animals, like who would win out of a rhinoceros and a hippopotamus, you know what I mean? Those kind of off-the-wall topics that you really wouldn't talk about with anyone other than your friends, and we'll do it right here for the March Madness Challenge. 850-215-6290. We are taking your calls and your texts. All right, we've got a few. All right, how about some of these best bets for the first round? South Dakota State, they are plus 16.5 taking on Iowa State. That's minus 110 there for the 16.5. Do you like South Dakota State with 16.5 against a very hot Iowa State Cyclones team?
I'm with Iowa State all the way here.
Yeah.
They're tough.
Do you think they cover the 16.5 though?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think they have an issue with that. Where Iowa State's going to run into trouble is when they face a team like Illinois that, is coming off a really, really deep run in the Big Ten, garnered a lot of confidence coming out of that game. So I think you're going to see them kind of really struggle with Illinois, but I don't think they have a problem with South Dakota State.
Caveman Rick?
Yeah, same here. South Dakota State, they're not like going to the tournament all the time. This is a big deal for them just to make it to the tournament to begin with. Iowa State, they know what they're doing. I don't see them having a problem here.
All right, our next one, we've got the Zips of Akron, who are a plus 12.5 underdog there. Minus 110, though, for them. They're taking on the Creighton Blue Jays. Do you like... I don't know if I like Akron plus 12.5 here, but they did end up winning their conference. I believe they won their conference. Yeah, I believe they won the MAC. They're taking on Creighton. You like that? The Athletic loves it. For me, I think Creighton wins by 15 in that game.
Creighton's looking to bounce back, right? They're looking to get things turned back around. You're looking at a team that is probably right under that Gonzaga threshold of Cinderellas, right? I mean, they've always seemingly been there. They've gotten some big wins. I think this year they make a deep run. I think they take care of Akron in this game. I don't foresee them having a problem. Where I see Creighton having a problem is when they face up with either Gonzaga or Purdue later on. So,
all right, Caveman Rick.
Actually, I think I would take Akron with the points. For whatever reason, I think Akron showed up pretty good this season, and hopefully it'll be a little bit closer than that, and they'll win with points.
All right, we'll move on to McNeese versus Gonzaga. I think I put the wrong thing in here. It says under 150.5. I don't know if they're going to be. You think these teams will be under 150.5? I think both teams can touch the 80 threshold, which would put them at 160. That, yeah. You know who the coach of McNeese State is? Will Wade.
Yeah, who's being rumored right now for the Louisville job.
Oh, how would you feel about that?
There's other guys I'd like before Will Wade.
Auburn wins the championship. Bruce Pearl?
I don't think he's leaving Auburn.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, you got to look at
job. Yeah,
you got to look at the pressures that he's under at Auburn, right? I mean, you look at an Elite Eight run, a Final Four run. That's amazing for Auburn basketball, right? It's a football school. It's amazing. You know, it's the same thing with Jeff Brom when he was hired on at Louisville to coach football. Give us 10 wins a year, occasionally make a deep run, win a big bowl game. We're happy. Auburn, I feel like, is the same way. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's the same way. I think he's got it made there. He just got an extension when Louisville hired Kenny Payne a few years ago. He kind of piggybacked off of that and went to Auburn and said, Louisville's looking at me. Hello, wake up.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I don't foresee him leaving Auburn in probably the best basketball conference right now in the country to go to anywhere.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Last week we were talking a little bit about Nate Oates, and maybe could Louisville swing that way, and then what does Bama turn around and do? To say, hey, you know what? Let's get one of them crazy buyouts and give it to Nate Oates.
It's not really what Bama did; is what Nate Oates did.
Yeah,
he was like, hey, here's my name.
Yeah,
it's a top 7 job.
Yeah,
right. My name's being mentioned.
Yeah.
Let's give me some more money.
Yep,
and that's what they did.
That is what they did, and Alabama is going to be taking on Charleston. Charleston is a plus 9.5 dog. I think if Bama wins this game, they win by more than 9.5. The problem is, I don't know if Alabama wins this game, man. Now, I've got them picked in the first round, taking on Charleston, but I think that this could be one of those ugly ones, one of those ugly games, especially how Bama finished down the stretch.
Oates is tough.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been there. He's been around the block. He's a great motivator. I think he'll have his guys fired up and ready to go. I look for Alabama to make a deep run in this tournament.
Okay.
With the guard play and their ability to shoot the ball, if just 2 of their guys catch fire, look out, because they can score with anybody. Now, it's going to be whether or not they can actually rebound the basketball and stay in games. But if you look at what they were able to do this year against some really good competition, when they shot the ball well, I mean, obviously, you score more points, you win. But when they were shooting at a better than good rate, man, they were really tough to beat.
There you go. Colgate plus 13.5. That's minus 105. They're taking on Baylor. I don't know very much about the Raiders of Colgate here, but Baylor looks like they could also be one of those teams who could have a surprising run. I don't know how deep I had Baylor going. What number seed is Baylor this year?
Baylor is a 3 seed.
They have the top.
No, they're bottom left.
Bottom left. Okay, I've got them going all the way to the Sweet 16 and then falling to Arizona, which a few weeks ago, Baylor was kind of one of my dark horses to win it all. So I wouldn't be surprised if they even move on beyond Arizona. Scott Drew, one of the guys that you would like to see be the coach of Louisville. He does a great job there. So for me, I'll say Baylor covers the 13.5. What about for you?
Yeah, I don't think Baylor has a problem with Colgate here. I mean, if they were in one of those 5-12 matchups, I might lean the other way, but that 3-14 is hard to overcome. And again, Scott Drew, he's proven. He's won a national championship. He knows what it takes. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that was the last time that we had a championship game featuring 2 number 1 seeds, Gonzaga and Baylor. What about you, Caveman Rick? How you feel about Colgate here?
I don't feel good about them at all. I think Baylor will take them down pretty easy. I like Baylor. I got them going pretty far in my bracket.
All right. Well, let's take a look at some of these storylines, especially for the first round. You're going to have a matchup of schools with the same arriving and departing athletic director. Last Thursday, it was announced that Nebraska athletic director Trev Alberts was leaving the school to become the new athletic director at Texas A&M. And what happens? Texas A&M, Nebraska going to be an 8-9 matchup in the first round of the South region. Nebraska versus A&M, essentially the Trev Alberts Bowl there. So, and even more ironic than that, Nebraska and Texas A&M are meeting in the first round of the NCAA women's tournament as well. So the matchmakers for both of the tournaments did a heck of a job there. Then you also have the Dukes versus Duke if James Madison, which I've got them pegged to beat Wisconsin in the first round. If they end up winning their first round game, they'll end up taking on Duke in the second round. Potentially, yeah, because Duke would have to win too, and Duke's kind of been off to a slow not a slow start, a slow finish.
They're not finishing strong right now.
Yeah, there you go. So it would be the Dukes versus Duke, and then also another 8-9, a lot of interesting, or 3 at least interesting 8-9 games. Michigan State and Mississippi State. We've talked about that. The battle for MSU. You also had Stetson Hatters right here in DeLand, Florida. They've made it to the tournament for their first time. And Grambling State, who will be playing tonight. We're going to be going till 5:30 tonight, 5:28. Then we'll get you to the first 4 coverage. I believe it's Grambling State and Montana State. That's the first game. And the second game tonight would be Boise State versus Colorado. How about Virginia just looking absolutely atrocious last night?
Why we didn't get the Indiana State Sycamores in there and we got Virginia is beyond me. Have you seen the young man that plays for the Indiana State Sycamores?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Robbie Avila?
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's absolutely amazing.
And Indiana State, I mean, had a great season. They just fell apart in the title game to Drake. But, I mean, I'm right there with you. That should have been Indiana State. USF should have been in here, too.
What's the expression? Ball don't lie?
Yeah, there you go.
Ball don't lie.
They're just getting in on past merit. Like
they were the third best team in the ACC.
It's money. It's money, right? I mean, are there more Indiana State Sycamore fans than there are Virginia Wahoos? Absolutely not. Is Virginia going to travel more than Indiana State fans would? More than likely so. So that means more ticket sales. It means more hotel rooms. It means more food, more revenue for the city. That's the way these things are looked at nowadays, and that's unfortunate, right? Because when you look at like Louisville, for instance, right? Always number 1, number 2, number 3 in attendance. During the Pitino and even Denny Crum era. They would always send Louisville out west before they were doing this regional pod thing. They would always send Louisville out west. And the reason they did that is because they knew that we were crazy enough to travel. Right. And they would do the same thing with Kentucky. They would send Kentucky way up in the Northeast, or they'd send them way out west because they knew that they were crazed fans, and that was their religion, and that's what they would do. They still haven't changed that, even though they're doing these regional pods, because they know that certain fan bases, no matter where you put them, this is their summer vacation. This is what they've planned their entire year around, is going and following their team when they go to the tournament.
There you go.
And unfortunately, Indiana State is a victim of Virginia, not only recent history, but also their fan base's willingness to travel.
Like Alan Sanders said on the Inside Drive the other day, bring back the computers. Not so much for football as far as BCS goes, but bring back the computers for the bracket challenge. Coming up next, I'm going to tell you guys how you can win a pair of tickets to Talladega. We're going to be kicking that off Monday, March 25th. You guys are riding along with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
Get ready.
Let's play the game.
Sports Talk Radio will never be the same.
I just don't think that anybody's going to succeed in that system.
It's a bad organization.
It's just a bad organization.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Onion pickles, onions pickles.
Live and local.
Look, it's impressive.
On ESPN.
Northwest Florida. ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Hey, David, I got another take on why Russell Wilson is under the most pressure.
All right.
Well, his home in Seattle is still for sale. Now his home in Denver is for sale. I'm sure he's going to be buying another home in Pittsburgh. And how long before his wife starts saying, hey, it's time for you to cook again?
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a gentle breeze out of the west-southwest, sunshine and 67. Clear skies tonight, slightly colder at 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a light breeze right around 6 miles per hour with a high of 73. About the same at 70 Friday, and we'll have mostly clouds in the early morning and then very heavy rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs, with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5, and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
From the pros to the future pros, we're your home team station for home team sports. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Race to Talladega. That'll be starting this Monday, March 25th. Join Coach Hale in the mornings at 7:15 and 8:15 to enter the race. Then at 12:15 and 4:15, listen for your name to be called. If we announce your name, race to the phones. How long it takes you to call, 850-215-6290 is your qualifying time. The fastest qualifying time is going to win you a pair of tickets to Talladega for the Geico 500. Man, that's going to be a great... Oh, turn that phone on silent for me one time, Terry. That's exactly what yes, sir. Got my buddy Terry Ross in the building with us. We're going to be talking about some mascot fights later, and it's always, as I mentioned earlier, it's always fun to have Terry talking about those things with us. And ESPNPC.com right now. Go there right now. We've got $250 on the line. It's going to be a gift card. It's going to come in gift card form, but you go to ESPNPC.com. You click on the Big Bracket Challenge. That'll take you to where you need to go to sign up for our Big Bracket Challenge. And then you just fill out your bracket, and then you hope for the best from there. We'll take your calls and texts at 850-215-6290. If you want to send me your Final Four teams, hey, we'll read them off right here on the air. Gator Don's Final Four teams are UNC, Houston, UConn, and Purdue. Championship game will be UNC versus Houston. Final score of that game will be Houston 87, North Carolina 80. Yeah, there you go. No, he said he's got UConn. He changed it up. He's got UConn winning the championship game against Houston, 87-80. Great stuff there. Yesterday we were doing our underdog bets with Caveman Rick. He's going to bet $1 on every single underdog. Now, Caveman Rick, do you remember where we left off yesterday?
No, sorry, I don't.
No. All right, it's okay, because I know we did not get very far into it. I don't think we got very far into it. I want to say that we left off with Morehead State and Illinois. Does that sound right?
It sounds like
because you haven't actually put any of these bets in yet.
No, because I know that the betting lines might change between now and then too. Anything can happen. So like the games for last night and today, I just put in yesterday.
Yeah.
But the ones that'll be starting tomorrow, I'm gonna put them in this evening.
So what was your total sitting at after yesterday?
Plus $1 and I think it was like 37 cents.
All right, so because you put $2 down, right?
Yeah.
So you lost $1 against Virginia,
right?
But then you gained $1.50. Yeah. So
I got my $1 back plus that money. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so you gained that. All right. So we're sitting in the positive right now. We're gonna pick it up with Oregon and South Carolina, and when we recap all of this next week, we'll have a better formulation of it. But Oregon and South Carolina, Oregon is the underdog, but they're only plus 100 here. So Caveman Rick, we're gonna start with you on every single one of these, and we're just doing the confidence rating. If you have anything that you want to add, feel free to add that. But Oregon plus 100, give me your confidence rating scale of 1 to 10.
Confidence rating probably 5, somewhere in the middle. I think both teams got, it's like a coin flip game.
Terry, get a little bit closer to that mic, my friend.
I want to go slightly Oregon.
Give me a confidence rating scale of 1 to 10.
Confidence. About 4 or 5, kind of like Caveman.
All right. AG, what about you?
Who am I picking in the game?
Well, Oregon is the underdog, so we're just giving a confidence rating on the underdog actually being able to accomplish that feat of winning the money line.
110. I'm gonna go 1.
Oh, 1 for Oregon. All right. For me, the confidence rating of them being able to do this, I've got it at 7 because South Carolina kind of struggled. Their best player, I believe his name is Meach. That's his first name. I believe that he only had like 10 points in 2 games in the SEC tournament. So I'll go 7 for Oregon. We'll go to the next one, Nevada. They're the 10 seed, but the 7 seed Dayton is actually the underdog. The Flyers are plus 100. Confidence rating for Dayton, a team that Max DeLayden is super high on.
I'm going to say 10. I'm a Flyers fan, baby.
All right.
The Flyers.
Terry, what about for you? Don't raise your head. My man just hit his head on the mic. Just throw a number out there. It don't matter.
I'm probably gonna go with the Flyers. I think I'm gonna go with Caveman.
All right. No, we're not picking the teams right here.
Oh, okay.
But if you think that Nevada's gonna win, you can just say absolutely 0. AG, what about for you? What's your confidence rating?
I'm at a 9 with Dayton.
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna go 6, man. I maybe the Wolfpack can have a little fun here. Colorado State, they are the 10 seed. They won their game last night convincingly over Virginia. They are plus 125 against the 7 seed Texas. Caveman Rick, your confidence rating that this underdog, this dollar, could hit for you?
Let's say 3.
All right. Y'all go to ESPNPC.com. Last I checked, we were at 66 users. I want to see us get to 100 users for the Big Bracket Challenge. And if you win, you're getting a $250 gift card courtesy of ESPN Northwest Florida. Terry, what is your confidence rating that the Flyers or that Colorado State could win?
Colorado State is like a 1 or a 2. Like they might win.
All right.
They might win.
1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest.
Okay, 1 being the lowest. Okay. Well, let me switch that. My bad. About a 9 or a
9.
10.
All right.
Get the upset.
I love it. All right. What about for you, AG?
Yeah, I'm probably about the same.
All right, we're going to move on to the 14 seed of Oakland. They are plus 650 taking on the 3 seed of Kentucky. Caveman Rick, you start us off here.
I don't have a whole lot of faith in Oakland, so I'm going to give them a 1.
All right. Terry?
A 1. I'm riding with it. Kentucky about to do their thing.
AG?
Yeah, it's about a 2. Kentucky has those ways. I mean, High Point and all those things that have happened here recently. I don't see them having that issue this year with Oakland, but I don't have them going much further.
I like that take there. I'm going to say my confidence rating, if it has to be 1, if 1 is the lowest value, then it's sitting there at a 1. The 12 seed, McNeese State, they are plus 225, taking on the 5 seed of Gonzaga. Caveman Rick, your confidence rating?
Gonzaga, it seems like the last couple of years have been doing so hot. You know, they've not performed as well as everybody thought. McNeese State, I haven't heard a ton of them, but I heard that they can, maybe put up some points. So my confidence rating, 4.
All right. Terry, what about for you?
I think Gonzaga is listening to y'all. They hear y'all. And I think Gonzaga might blow them out, bro. They hear y'all.
All right. What about for you, AG?
I'm at like a 7. There's a chance, but I've got Gonzaga going to the Final Four, so I'm pretty confident in them.
Me too.
All right. For me, I'm going to say for McNeese State, somewhere 5, 5.5, that area there. Then we'll move on to a 15 and a 2 seed there. South Dakota State and the Jackrabbits plus 900. The Iowa State Cyclones are the 2 seed there, plus 900. Confidence rating, Caveman Rick.
1-0. Iowa State's pretty hot. I think I got them going deep. So.
All right, Terry.
I'm taking Ohio State too.
It's Iowa. It's Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Yeah.
Iowa State.
All right, so your confidence rating's pretty low there, AG.
Yeah, it's like a 0. I think Iowa State handles them.
I'm right there with you guys. I got Iowa State making a nice run here. Another 15-2 matchup. It's St. Peter's and the Peacocks. They are plus 1,200 taking on the 2 seed of Tennessee. Caveman Rick, what is your confidence rating here?
St. Peter's was good a couple of years ago. This isn't the same team, so 1. Tennessee should roll them pretty easy.
Terry?
I got Tennessee. They're going to get it done, man.
All right. AG?
It's Rick Barnes, man. So you got to do at least a 3 or a 4 here.
Yeah.
I know it's a 15-2 matchup, but we've seen that a couple of times already, just in recent past. Rick Barnes always finds a way to lose these games.
Hey, he's good against the mid-majors. He's just not good in the good games.
Though. It's the tournament, though.
All right. Well, I say
like a 3.
I'm going to say...
Which is like a 6 any other round.
All right. I like that. I'll go up to a 5. I'll go up to a 5. Yeah, that's the confidence rating. All right, here we go. Here's one that we could be confident in. Maybe. We'll find out. The 11th seed, North Carolina State, plus 170. The 6th seed, Texas Tech here. What is your confidence rating that North Carolina State can win as the underdog, Caveman Rick?
I'll say an 8. They've been playing pretty well. Texas Tech, I don't know a whole lot about them, but the way North Carolina State upset in their conference championship, yeah, why not? 8.
Terry, give me a confidence rating.
North Carolina State, right? Wolf Pack, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking Wolf Pack. I'm gonna put a 7 or 8. I'm gonna give them a little.
All right, I like it. What about you, AG?
I'm at a 2. I think they peaked too soon. I don't like the team. They're really, really susceptible down low. I know Baycott didn't really have his best game on Saturday night, but I think Texas Tech does them in.
Brian Graham with his championship game, I believe, Iowa State versus Purdue. That'll be a fun championship game, though. Yeah. Zach Edey, what's he, 7'4", 300 pounds?
7'4", yeah.
Golly, man. If a team doesn't have good interior defense, they'll be hard to take down. Let's go to another one that I'm kind of confident in. North Carolina State, for me, I'm right there with Caveman Rick. I'm at an 8 on the scale of 1 to 10. We'll move to the 13 seed Samford taking on 4 Kansas, and McCullers is going to be out for the tournament. Samford plus 225. Confidence rating there, Caveman Rick?
Mine's not very high on Samford. I'll give him like a 3. Kansas, I mean, they're perennial team in here. Bill Self doesn't lose like in games like this, so yeah.
Terry?
Kansas.
All right, AG?
I'm at a 2 on this one. There's an outside chance, but like Rick said, it's Bill Self. He'll get at least 1.
All right. I'm going with some buckyball right here. My confidence rating yesterday was maybe around a 6. I think that's increased now to a 7.5. I like Samford, and I've got them taking down Kansas in the first round. We'll go to another 10-7 matchup. 10 is Drake, who beat Indiana State in their championship game. I believe that's the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. But Drake is not the underdog. It's actually the Cougars of Washington State, the 7th seed. They are plus 100. Caveman Rick, your confidence rating?
Right there at a 5. I don't know much about both of these teams.
All right, sounds good. Terry?
Same 5. I know nothing about these teams.
I'm in like a 6 that Washington State can get it done.
All right, I'll go one lower than you at 5. Terry, if you will, when you talk, just get close into that microphone. All right, you right there. No, you're good. You're good. We just had to. We can't hear you if you're not into the mic. You're good, brother. Number 9, Northwestern plus 130. The Owls of Florida Atlantic are minus 155. Confidence rating here, Caveman Rick.
I got FAU winning this game, but I think Northwestern's a pretty good, solid team as well. So 6.
All right, I'm going to, Terry, confidence rating for Northwestern.
Confidence rating for Northwestern, like a 2.
All right, I like that.
FAU about to do work.
Yeah.
I'm at a 3. I think Dusty May will have his guys ready to play.
All right, I'll go with Terry there, and I'll sit at a 2 for Northwestern. 14 seed Colgate, they'll get your teeth clean, but I don't know if they will clean the glass very well. Number 3 Baylor, Colgate is plus 650. Any confidence?
No, Baylor. I got them going pretty deep as well. I got them going to the Final Four. So yeah, Colgate 1.
Me too.
All right, we're getting a little bit closer. That was the second game for Friday. You said what's your confidence rating, Terry?
My confidence rating for Baylor is like...
Oh, yeah, Baylor through the roof.
Yeah.
Through the roof. AG, any confidence on Colgate?
No, about a 1.
All right, number 12 seed UAB is at plus 225. One of my favorites, San Diego State. They are the 5 seed there. Any confidence in UAB here at plus 225?
Yeah, I do. I like UAB. There's always 12s beating 5s, so why not? So put UAB up there as an 8 for me.
I have a feeling that they're going to go pretty far when it comes down to the mascot fight bracket.
No doubt.
Terry, what about you for UAB confidence rating?
I don't know what it is. I feel like who is like UAB would be the underdog, correct?
Yeah, plus 225.
Yeah, I got UAB myself against San Diego State. Yeah,
all right,
I see that.
AG,
this isn't the 5-12 upset I have. I've got another one, but UAB does have a chance. I'm going to put it at like a 2 or a 3, though.
All right, let's go to a team that I know you're fond of. On top of the hill, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers plus 700. My confidence rating for UAB, real quick, I'll put that at a 1. Western Kentucky, though, the 15 seed, taking on Marquette, and the Golden Eagles, the 2 seed. Western Kentucky plus 700. Confidence rating there, Caveman Rick.
Hey, AJ, I'm sorry. I give you a 2, man. It's Marquette, dude. These dudes are always in. They know what they're doing. Like, yeah, this should be a cakewalk for Marquette.
Confidence rating for you, Terry.
Confidence rating, like Marquette, 8.
All right. He's just
reversing it.
Yeah. You give us your confidence rating on the favorites from now on. I like that.
Drop down, flip it, and reverse it.
Hey, no doubt. AG, what about for you?
I've got the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers winning this one. I think that's 2 years in a row that you see Marquette bounced early as a 2.
Confidence rating in that?
8.
Oh,
I thought you go 10.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah.
Hey, no doubt. I thought you were saying you're going to go to $10 for that.
No, I'm just saying I thought he'd go 10. I mean, it's a school. Like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, you got to pull for him. Man. It's my alma mater.
I'll go with a man. I really like Marquette in this one. I'll say a 3. I'll say a 3 confidence rating. All right, we'll go to a 16-1 here. Stetson and the Hatters taking on the Huskies of UConn. Man, it looks like UConn is minus 20,000 for this game.
Can we do just like negative 10?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Stetson plus 1750. As much as Caveman Rick would love to see this one hit, I don't know. What's your confidence rating in it?
Man, unless the bus on the way to the game like falls off a cliff, dude, Stetson's done, dude.
Terry?
That's all I got to say.
I'm really peeking at UConn. I feel like UConn got this, and UConn at least makes it to the Final Four, Elite 8 at worst.
All right. I like that. AG, confidence rating for Stetson.
Yeah, 0.
All right, I'm right there with you.
My betting app, though, I mean, like, I'm all in for that, though.
Yeah.
I want that one.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love that.
That one will set you straight. Like anything else could happen, I think you'll still be in pretty good standing there. Number 11, New Mexico, is a minus 145 favorite. The 6 seed Clemson is the underdog at plus 120. What's your confidence rating that Clemson can knock down New Mexico?
I would say probably 6.
All right. Terry?
Well, I don't know what is in me is just wanting to say New Mexico. I do not know. Like, maybe y'all could have got Old Mexico, but New Mexico, I don't know.
All right, AG.
Clemson is one of those teams that, for whatever reason, they always play well in the regular season. They always get hyped up, and then they kind of fall back down to earth. I've got New Mexico winning this one, so I'm at like an 8.
All right, well, coming up next, we will finish off the last 8 games of the first round of the tournament. We'll be recapping this on Tuesday when Caveman Rick is back in the building. We'll be right back. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer, number 9.
Saturday, April 27th at Bay Haven Charter Academy. In the main event, it's a tag team showdown with Exodus versus Mike Steele and Mr. 850. Plus exciting women's wrestling. Tickets still just $12. Ages 6 to 17, only $8. 5 and under, free.
More information, ESPNPC.com.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a gentle breeze out of the west-southwest, sunshine and 67. Clear skies tonight, slightly colder at 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a light breeze right around 6 miles per hour with a high of 73. About the same at 70 Friday, and we'll have mostly clouds in the early morning and then very heavy rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than S&R Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At S&R, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. S&R Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
Calling all hospitality pros, ready to be your own boss? Then get the Crew app and get connected to flexible work in the industry you know and love. With Crew, you call the shots, work where, when, and how you want, and get paid right after. Flexibility and fast cash, that's the Crew way. Crew lets you earn quick cash on your terms. All you need to bring is your awesome attitude. Take control of your economic destiny with Crew. That's CROUX.co. Crew, your new side hustle.
You want a big-time sports show? Tune in for the Afternoon Underdogs.
We're live and local here.
Weekdays from 4 till 6.
We need one more SEC team in there to shake things up.
The Afternoon Underdogs are on the air. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back. You are in the doghouse riding along with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes along with AG. That's Adam Goff, Terry Ross, and Caveman Rick. You guys can call or text us at 850-215-6290. Springtime on the Gulf Coast means warmer nights, plenty of sweet tea, and your Atlanta Braves. Opening day is right around the corner. ESPN Northwest Florida is still your official radio station for the Atlanta Braves in the Panhandle. The tradition continues. Keep listening to ESPN Northwest Florida for game times. And again, $250 on the line for coming in the form of a gift card. All you do is go to ESPNPC.com, click on the Big Bracket Challenge. It'll take you to where you need to go. Let's pack that thing out. I would love to see us get over 100 users for that. I'll check during this segment to see how many people we have in the group right now. I cannot wait for this. We had 66 as of earlier. In fact, before we even get to that, only two people have joined, so we're at 68. Get your friends, get your families. I don't care if they listen or not. Get them involved right now for the ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge. $250 gift card on the line. We just figured out what the prize was going to be today.
Well, how many times do you see a bracket pool challenge, right? Especially when it was the papers back then. It was, before the internet and everything, and I know I just dated myself, but you would always see somebody that just never paid attention.
Yeah.
Cleaned house.
Yeah.
Just dominated. So get your daughter to do one, get your son to do one. I don't care if they're 5 or 6. Flip a coin with them. You have a chance.
Have a mascot fight to duke it out. And we're going to try to get to that. We've got 8 games to finish out these underdogs.
Ask your woman, like, what uniform she likes better. Miles, uniform combinations.
Yeah. There you go, K-Fan.
I mean, it's a way to do it, right?
Yeah, that is a way to do it. There's no doubt about that. All right, we left off with Yale and Auburn. Yale plus 550 in this. They are the 13 seed. Auburn is the 4 seed, which I think they got seeded a little low there. I think they could have easily been a 3 seed. If Kentucky's a 3 seed, why in the world is not Auburn?
That's where I'm at.
Neither here nor there. And they also got...
Sent out west.
Yeah, sent out west to Spokane. Like, hey, come on, this is coming from an Alabama fan, y'all. Y'all need to fix this stuff. Yeah. Fix this mess. Yeah. Terry, say amen, brother.
Amen.
All right, Yale plus 550. Confidence rating, scale of 1 to 10. Caveman rate.
Yeah, 1. You got the Ivy League school going against like an SEC school. Yeah, no.
All right, Terry, what about for you?
1.
I 1 as well.
All right, I'll give them a little bit of optimism there. The cup can be maybe an 8th full there. I'll go with a confidence rating of 2. Number 9 seed Texas A&M is at plus 100. They're taking on the 8 seed of Nebraska. Confidence rating, Caveman Rick.
I'll give it probably a 7.
Terry.
Confidence rating, yeah. I give it a 5.
All right, I like that, AG.
I'm at a 7 with A&M as well.
All right, I'll go 1 step higher just because I have Texas A&M moving on. I'll give them an 8. We've got the number 13 seed Vermont taking on the 4 seed of Duke. Vermont is plus 525. Caveman Rick, confidence rating.
I'll say a 7 for Vermont. Duke hasn't been doing so well, and like when they back into the tournaments lately, they get bounced pretty early.
All right, Terry.
Vermont, a 4.
Okay, I like it.
That's where I'm at. It's a 4 as well. Yeah, I mean, Vermont always, there's that sneaky team that nobody watches, nobody pays attention to, and then all of a sudden they go up against somebody like a Duke, and then they end up handling business.
Catamounts versus Blue Devils, a little tease for our mascot fight later on, if we find time to do that in our 28-minute segment to end the show. I'll go with a confidence rating just slightly below Terry and AG, sitting there at 3. This next one, the 13 seed College of Charleston, plus 350, taking on the 4 seed of Alabama. Confidence rating, Caveman Rick, where you at?
I think Alabama. I don't got them going deep in this tournament, but I think they'll handle this one. So I think confidence rating Charleston probably 3.
All right, Terry.
Confidence rating Charleston.
Yeah,
either 2 or 1.
All right.
I'm at a 2 here. I think Bama handles business.
All right. I'm going to say, now maybe this is reverse psychology, but I'm going to say a 7. I'm really worried about Bama in the tournament this year. I just, last year they had the fixins to win the whole thing, and especially with Brandon Miller, and they, looked good in the first 2 games and then just kind of fell apart there. I don't know if Sears has got enough to get the job done, so I'll go with a 7. Longwood is plus 1,400. They are a 16 seed. They'll be taking on the 1 seed Houston. Confidence rating for Longwood to move on.
Yeah, 0. Houston's my winner. They're not doing nothing.
Terry.
Houston with a no. I got a 1 for the underdog.
All right, gotcha.
I'm at a 0 as well. I think Houston's ready to go.
I'll go with Terry and be optimistic. We'll go with a 1, but I don't think any 16 seeds are moving on here. 12 over a 5. It's always got to happen at least once, right? 12 seed James Madison taking on the 5th seed Wisconsin. James Madison plus 175. Caveman Rick, confidence rating.
I got Wisconsin actually winning this one on my bracket, but James Madison, I can see doing it, so I'll give them a 7.
All right. Terry, James Madison, confidence rating?
James Madison, yeah. I was about to say James Madison looking like a 6 to me.
Okay, all right.
I'm at like a 2. I think Wisconsin handles business. I don't see them having any trouble.
They do. I think the star player for Wisconsin's last name is Storr. But I think James Madison's got this. I think it'll be a Dukes versus Duke matchup. So I'm going to say 8. 8 is my confidence rating for James Madison with the upset there. 9 seed versus the 8 seed is TCU, the 9 seed, taking on the 8 seed of Utah State. Again, the 8 seed is the underdog at plus 150. Confidence rating for Utah State and the Aggies. Caveman Rick.
Utah State, this one, I don't know nothing about them. Give me a 6.
All right. Terry?
Utah State, go ahead and give me a 7 or an 8.
All right, I like it.
I'm with him as well, 7.
Okay, I'll go with a 6. And our final one of the first round, this game will be tipping off Friday at 9:05 Central Time. Grand Canyon, the 12 seed, plus 180. The Antelopes are going to be taking on the Gales of St. Mary's, who is the 5th seed. Grand Canyon, plus 180. Caveman Rick.
It's another 12-5. However, I think St. Mary's is another school that's actually been there a number of times and knows what they're doing. So I would say Grand Canyon 3.
Terry?
I'll go ahead and go with Caveman Rick, St. Mary, and I was going to give it a toss-up myself because I know nothing about these teams.
All right, AG.
This is my 12-5 upset.
This is the one.
I'm at a 9 with Grand Canyon.
And this is Scott Drew's little brother? The head coach of Grand Canyon? Mm-hmm. I believe that's, yeah.
I'm at a 9 on this one. I think this one's in the bag for Grand Canyon.
See, I got St. Mary's moving on, so I'm going to drop it down to a 5. But I love the confidence, man. And the Antelopes, if nothing else, they're graceful.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah. And this second, third, it's got to be their second year, but I think they've made the tournament now 3 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that experience ends up paying off in the long run. So make sure that you're tuned in to the Afternoon Underdogs. Of course, Monday we'll be recapping the tournament, but then Tuesday, Caveman Rick will be back with us. And so we'll recap how we did in the first round. We won't be putting the second round out on the air, but the second round happens Saturday and Sunday. So we'll recap the first and the second round right here on the Afternoon Underdogs at some point in time between 4 and 6 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. And again, all of the games, well, I say that, let's say 90% of the games will be right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, because this year we're going to do it a little bit differently. Instead of just doing the full amount of Westwood 1 coverage, we are going to break away for the Auburn game and play the full amount of the Auburn game, and then we'll get back into Westwood 1 coverage from there on out. But it's very great stuff, man. If you're driving around or if you're at work and you can't watch the games, get the ESPN Northwest Florida app. Go to your Google Play Store, go to your Apple Store, type in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, and then you can take us with you wherever it is that you go. So if you're driving down the road and the signal starts to break up a little bit, boom, just hook up the Bluetooth and put us on the app. But it is a great, it's a great app to have, especially here for March Madness, man, because it is so fun to keep up with the action, and it doesn't just stay at one game. Whatever is the most happening game at that point in time, that is where the coverage will be. The trivia question for today, did you have something, AG?
No, I was just going to say that, technology today has sort of, I don't want to say ruined, but I think it's negated some of the draws of the tournament.
Yeah.
Because there was something to be said for, when, like, college age years, things like that, where, we'd all gather over at a friend's house. Everybody would bring their ginormous TVs over, and we would have the splitters going, and we'd have different TVs up, and so we could watch all the games at different time, or at the same time. And nowadays, it's, you can have a split screen right there through your cable service or streaming service or whatever you use, and then, now everybody's watching on their phones, what's going on with the brackets, whereas before it was like, there's something to be said for having that different color highlighter for, okay, you got this one, this is a win, and then you got this red color is a loss, so we're going to mark that one out. And I don't know, it's a different kind of feel. I think technology has hindered that experience for me, if you will, but I don't know.
I see where you're going. Do you remember where you watched the first round games last year?
No.
Outrigger with me.
Oh, that's right. We did go there, didn't we? Yeah, me and your brother.
Yeah. We watched that. We watched a good portion of about till sundown last year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do remember that now. But that's what I'm saying. So
look how
no, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you kind of lose that that sentimentality for
Yes.
it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
for sure.
Because it's not the same experience as it was. Because it was always a challenge for us growing up of, being able to watch as many games as possible. And, growing up in Louisville, it was a week. It was a holiday week for us. I mean, it wasn't spring break.
Yeah.
It was a holiday week for us where teachers would roll that giant TV on a metal aluminum cart in and put it in front of their desk, and we'd all sit there and watch the games.
Yeah.
If either Louisville or Kentucky or Indiana were playing.
That's what I loved about having our biology teacher was a huge Ohio State fan, and he would always wear the sweater vest like Coach Tressel would. But so when it was March Madness time, he would find a way to get us watching the games, and none of the other teachers would do that.
Absolutely, but we all appreciated it, right? We didn't expect it, but we all appreciated it, and then
year two is like you kind of expect it, though.
You do to a certain extent, but it was also one of those situations where it was like, okay, well, let's enjoy this bonus for what it is, because if we mess up, we're not going to get it next year.
And maybe if you weren't into biology, maybe you paid attention a little bit more because you got to do something cool in class.
Well, I don't know. Whenever we got to like dissect animals and stuff, that was like, and the only thing I didn't really like, because you're supposed to be learning, but I was never a big fan of the smell, like with the sharks and stuff like
Formaldehyde.
that. Oh yeah, I guess that's what it is. I did not like that smell at all. But if anyone remembers old Coach Connell, man, he was my favorite teacher by far there at Panama City Christian. You guys are riding along with the Afternoon Underdogs. Coming up next, we're gonna get into our bracket and make the picks by way of a mascot fight. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We are the Afternoon Underdogs, and we will be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Geico 500. Starting Monday, March 25th, join Coach Hale mornings at 7:15 and 8:15 to enter. The Race to Talladega. Then at 12:15 and 5:15, listen for your name called. If we announce your name, race to the phones. How long it takes you to call 850-215-6290 is your qualifying time. The fastest qualifying times win a pair of tickets to Talladega, right here from ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a gentle breeze out of the west-southwest, sunshine and 67. Clear skies tonight, slightly colder at 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a light breeze right around 6 miles per hour with a high of 73. About the same at 70 Friday, and we'll have mostly clouds in the early morning and then very heavy rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Haven, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
You're riding shotgun with the Afternoon Underdogs. We're going to need some gas money. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Fill her up, please.
At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back for hour number 2. Go to ESPNPC.com. Click on the Big Bracket Challenge. Up for grabs, a $250 gift card. So get in the group right now. We got 68 users there. I want to see that up to 100 by 11 o'clock in the morning time, which is when, 11:15 technically is when the brackets will lock at that point in time. We do have a little bit of breaking news, which is going to break us away from the mascot fight here. Now, opening day technically was today. I guess you wouldn't call it opening day, but the MLB World Tour, they were in Seoul, Korea.
South Korea.
South Korea. Seoul, but in the Seoul series or whatever they're calling it. Seoul, the city in South Korea. That's a very important tidbit
distinction.
there. Yeah, absolutely. But according to John Heyman, AG just saw this in the break, and thank you for playing that sounder. I'm sorry that I talked through that, Caveman Rick. From John Heyman on Twitter, interpreter Ippei Mizuhara has indeed been fired by the Dodgers after Ohtani's lawyers accused Mizuhara of stealing from Ohtani in relation to a gambling problem, as the LA Times reported. He has been Ohtani's longtime interpreter. Yamamoto, fortunately, has his own interpreter. You got to wonder if they're going to share from that. You said that the Dodgers were paying him $1 million a year, and on top of that, Ohtani put it in his contract that he can opt out if they fire his translator, Ippei, or certain employees.
But this is also Ohtani's attorneys that are doing this.
You're right. So does that void the contract in and of itself?
If he chooses to. If he chooses to.
This could be wild.
That's insane. I mean, you got to sit there and think. I mean, talk about biting the hand that feeds you.
Yeah.
I mean, here you are that, you've got your own home. You're traveling with the team, so you get to travel for free.
You got to be the highest paid interpreter out there, right?
I would assume so.
Could this just be like BS? I mean, okay, you would think Ohtani, if they're going to get rid of him, they would probably talk to him first. You know what I'm saying? And so to not have him be upset unless they're wanting to get out from underneath the contract or something. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, you're thinking this is the Dodgers doing this?
I just don't know. To me, it sounds too fishy. It just doesn't sound right.
It sounds like someone got in a good position.
To me, it sounds like Ohtani went, hey, where's all my money going here, buddy? And then you turn around and look, and there's this interpreter, and, instead of having a nice home out there in L.A., now he's renting hotel rooms and things like that, and he's falling behind his bills. He's coming to Ohtani going, can I get some money? And Ohtani's like,
you're not paying
what's going on here, dude? What are we doing? Come on.
Hey, and then Ohtani just got married, or I don't know or when he got married.
He got married, right?
Right, but in all of that, while Ohtani is distracted with handling his personal life, his interpreter could be going behind his back and, I got some free time. I don't know. We don't know any of the details on that. What we do know is that the Dodgers got a win today, 5-2. Did you see how that played out, though? Not
I didn't.
necessarily the game, but did you see what happened to Jake Cronenworth?
I did not.
So it was the 8th inning. I think the game was tied at 2 right then. He had a ball go straight through the webbing of his first baseman's mitt, the lace that was attached to the pocket of his glove, essentially, and the ball goes straight through it. Ohtani did end up going 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs in that game. And also an interesting note here, we never got to it, but with Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman batting 1, 2, 3. They became the first MVPs to hit 1, 2, 3 in a batting order since Philadelphia did it. Both of y'all's teams have done it. Phillies, Joe Morgan, Pete Rose, and Mike Schmidt did it during 10 games in 1993. The only other instances were by the Big Red Machine, Cincinnati, with Rose, Morgan, and George Foster on May 13th, 1978, and then Rose, Morgan, and Johnny Bench, May 5th, 1976. Tomorrow, 5:05 a.m., Yamamoto makes his debut. He'll be taking on a guy that the Padres wish that they had all year last year, Joe Musgrove.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so baseball is back now, not officially opening day for everyone. There were some spring training games going on today, but yeah, Seoul Series, that'll be at 5:05 in the morning. Let's get to our mascot fight here. We're going to start it off on the left side of the bracket, and in the East bracket, a Husky versus a Hat. Stetson is the Hatters here. Who wins, a Husky or a Hat? I'm going to need that pin.
Oh.
I got the dog.
Does anyone got the Hat?
I got the Mad. They're the Mad Hatters.
The Mad Hatters.
The Hat is angry.
All right. So you think the Hat would win?
Yeah, you put it over the top of the dog's head. He can't see.
All right, Terry, break the tie here.
He gonna take that.
You get in that mic. Get in that mic.
He gonna take that hat away from you. That I got the Husky.
All right, Husky moves on. All right, now in our next matchup, we've got an owl versus a wildcat. This is a tough one, man. Caveman, we'll start with you. We'll go to AG, and then Terry breaks the tie.
I've seen some great old owls do some stuff, but I got to take the wildcat.
All right.
I'm going wildcat myself.
Owls are very, very wise.
I'm right there with you. Who? But we got to go with the Wildcat since we got two. The way I want to do it, I want to go Caveman, Rick, AG, Terry, you break the tie, all right?
Okay.
All right, San Diego State and UAB, that is an Aztec versus a Blazer, which is essentially a dragon. So an Aztec or a Blazer. This might be the only one where I would pick the animal over the human. Caveman, Rick.
I got the dragon all day in that.
Yeah, give me the Blazer.
All right, we don't even need your answer, but what is it? All right, then we've got Auburn and Yale. That's a Tiger versus a Bulldog. Caveman Rick.
Auburn, Tiger.
All right.
Tiger.
Tiger.
Easy money. We'll move on to the next matchup. It's going to be BYU Cougars. Zach Wilson loves them. Duquesne and the Dukes. Who wins, a Cougar or a Duke?
I'm afraid unless the Duke's got a rifle, I got to take the Cougar.
Okay. All right.
I'm taking...
No, I was just going to say, I mean, humans are top of the food chain, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Dukes.
Terry?
Duke.
All right, there you go. I'm kind of with the human side as well. The Fighting Illini taking on the some Eagles. Who wins there? Caveman Rick.
I've probably got the Illini.
All right.
Illini.
All right. Terry?
I want to... Lina, yeah.
All right. Cougars versus Bulldogs here. Washington State versus Drake. Cougars versus Bulldogs. Caveman Rick.
I got the middle-aged women.
AG.
I'm going to go Cougars here.
All right. Terry?
Cougars.
All right. Then we've got Iowa State and South Dakota State. So that's going to be a Cyclone versus a Jackrabbit. Cyclone versus a Jackrabbit.
Well, you could think maybe the Jackrabbit might be able to outrun the Cyclone, but I still got the Cyclone, the Twister.
All right. AG?
I'm with Rick, the Cyclone.
And Terry?
I got the Cyclone myself.
All right. We'll move on to North Carolina, who are the Tar Heels, which, interesting, do you know why they are, why their mascot is a ram? Because Tar Heel...
It's hilly over there?
Well, do you so Tar Heel is basically a person from North Carolina. Right? So the reason why they went to a ram was in 1960s. Their head coach at the time, they had a fullback who his nickname was the Battering Ram. So they went with a ram.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just kind of like Alabama having the Crimson Tide and then they have an elephant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Auburn.
Well, it's like a tide of elephants.
War Eagle.
Yeah, Auburn's doesn't make much sense. No. I did, man. I was learning a lot of stuff about these teams' mascots today. So a Tar Heel or a Seahawk? Who wins?
Give me... We're talking about a person then, or
yeah,
we're talking about the animal?
I guess technically we're talking about a person from North Carolina, a Tar Heel.
Okay, the person then.
All right, Tar Heel?
Tar Heel.
Tar Heel all the way. All right, man, we're going to have some very unique battles down the road. A Bulldog versus a Spartan.
Spartan.
This is Sparta.
All right. Terry?
Spartan.
I wrote Sparta instead of Spartan. All right, Gales. Do y'all know what Gales are?
Like wind?
No.
Like
that's Gails. You know what Gales are?
It's a bird. Right?
Irish people. Irish people.
Oh, Gaelic.
Gaelic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they came. This was in the rumor has it in the 1920s that there was 5 or 6 guys on the basketball team or on one of the sports teams that were Irish. So that's where they came up with the Gales. So a Gale or an antelope.
I got the Irish guy that likes to drink and fight.
All right, AG.
I'm with Rick. Yeah, go Gales.
All right, Terry, your opinion.
Go with the Gales.
All right, we'll go to the Crimson Tide, the Elephants versus Cougars here.
I got to go with the elephant, man.
I'm going to go with the Cougar here.
All right, Terry, break the tie.
I'm going with the elephant.
All right, my man. Clemson versus New Mexico. Tigers versus Lobos. Do you know what a Lobo is? Yep.
All right, I got the wolf. I'm not sorry, not the wolf. I got the tiger.
Okay.
Lobos.
Oh, all right.
You said pack at first, so that's what threw me off.
Well, it is but also anything that ends in an S is plural, right? So it's like.
Well, then it's Auburn Tigers. It's not the Auburn Tiger.
Yeah, I know. So same way,
I'm
but
still doing Tigers.
Yeah. All right. So Tigers moving on over the Wolves.
Yeah, I got the Tigers. Yeah.
Bears versus Raiders. Bears versus Raiders. Caveman Rick. That is Baylor versus Colgate.
I guess you got to go with the Pirates, man. They like to rape and pillage and take over and tear stuff apart.
If this was the Vegas Raiders, I wouldn't choose them, but I'm going to go Raiders.
I wish it was the Tuscan Raiders. Star Wars.
Terry, Raiders or Bears?
I want to go to Bears.
All right, but you picked the Raiders, right, AG? Yeah. All right, so Raiders are moving on. We didn't need to break a tie there, but still feel compelled to have Terry answer for us. All right, Dayton, the Flyers taking on Nevada, also a Wolf Pack. Flyers, do y'all know where they got that nickname from?
Wright Brothers.
Yes, sir.
Airplanes. So Airplane's going to take out,
Oh, yeah, but I mean, there's a airplane going.
Whether it's got a gun on it or it just crashes and burns onto it, it's taking it out, baby.
AG,
Flyers.
Terry?
Flyers.
That's steel versus flesh.
All right. Then we've got Arizona taking on Long Beach State. Long Beach State used to be called the 49ers. They went to the NCAA a few years ago. Now they're the Long Beach State Beach. Also, I also see like dirt bags and stuff, but I almost asked this as a trivia question today. What is Long Beach State's team name or nickname or whatever? I mean, yeah, but because if you Google it, it takes a few different sources to actually end up finding out what they're called. So Wildcats are a beach. Who wins?
Yo, I got the earth, man. Dirt, it's timeless. You can't kill dirt.
That's a good.
I mean, you bury all things in dirt, right?
Fair.
So let's go beach.
All right, Terry.
Long Beach.
All right.
LBC, baby.
Watch the 15 seed Long Beach State end up winning this whole thing. We'll go over to the South bracket. Houston taking on Longwood. That's Cougars versus Lancers. Caveman Rick.
Ooh, give me the Lancers. They got swords.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Lancers.
Like a musketeer.
Terry?
I'm going to go Lancers myself.
All right, Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, or the Huskers, taking on the Aggies of Texas A&M. We've only got 8 minutes, so hey, maybe we'll get through the first round here. Huskers or an Aggie? Do y'all know what an Aggie is?
Like a dog?
Yeah.
A farmer.
Yes, so essentially a farmer,
so farmers cull the crop, right?
Yeah.
They go and get the corn and take the husk off the corn, so I'm going to go Aggies.
Yeah.
I was thinking Cornhusker if it's like the machine, though, that takes the stuff apart if it's the machine. But, I'll go Nebraska. Cornhuskers.
Okay, Terry, Husker or Aggie?
I'm going to go ahead and break it off and just go with the Aggies.
All right. Yeah, they were called Aggies because they would go to agricultural schools or whatever, and they would get the nickname Aggies. Yep, absolutely. As we talked to Peyton Gay a few weeks ago, who's in the Bozeman FFA. We've got the Badgers of Wisconsin taking on the Dukes of James Madison. Caveman Rick.
Yo, Badgers.
Oh, so the first time a human has gone down here.
Yeah, man, Badgers are vicious.
AG?
I'm going to stick with Dukes.
All right. Terry, break the tie. Oh, the Dukes make it. All right. We've got the Blue Devils of Duke versus the Catamounts of Vermont.
I got to go with the Devil. Easy.
If this was the Jersey Devil, I would go with them, but I think I'm going to go Catamount.
All right. Terry?
Duke.
Golly. Stupid Devils. All right, moving right on here. We've got the Red Raiders taking on the Wolfpack. Red Raiders of Texas Tech, Wolfpack of North Carolina State.
Go with Pirates.
Caveman Rick. Pirates?
Red Raiders.
All right, Red Raiders moving on. We will go with the Wildcats of Kentucky taking on the Golden Grizzlies of Oakland. Caveman Rick.
Oakland Grizzlies.
This is a good one right here.
This is a good one. This is like one of those things you see on YouTube where they make it up, right? So I'm going to go Grizzlies here.
Terry?
I'm going to go Grizzlies myself.
Hey, no doubt. All right, moving right on to Gators versus either Broncos or Buffaloes.
Ooh, I got the Gators, man.
Gators eat Buffalo all the time.
Yeah, there you go. So Gators moving on here. We've got Golden Eagles taking on the Hilltoppers. The Hilltoppers.
Probably Hilltoppers. They got weapons and stuff. Probably.
Eagles fly over top of hilltops, but we also said that the beach wins too. So this one's tough. It's kind of a mix between the two.
Yeah.
But just for argument's sake, I'll go Golden Eagles.
All right.
And Golden Eagles.
But if it was Big Red, right?
Yeah, if it was like the actual mascot.
Versus the Eagles, I'd go Big Red.
Yeah. Well, because that's, we're going to get into a little complication when we get into Akron then. We've got Purdue and the Boilermakers taking on either the Grizzlies or the Tigers. You can listen to that game right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Coverage starting here in about 16 minutes at 5:30. And then we'll get you into the second game tonight. That is going to be Colorado versus Boise State, as we just mentioned that game. So who wins, Boilermaker or Grizzlies or Tigers?
The Train, Boilermakers.
We going with the Train, AG?
Well, I look at Boilermaker as the actual engineer.
Yeah,
But if it's the Grizzlies, I say Grizzly because I've seen some horrific things that Bears have done.
Terry, Grizzly or a Boilermaker?
Grizzly.
All right, we'll go with the Grizzlies then. I'm fine.
Boilermaker is also a drink, by the way.
Nice. I don't think I've ever had that before, and probably never will. These days, anyways. Aggies of Utah State taking on the Horned Frogs. Aggies?
Aggies, yeah. Stomp a horned frog.
All right, man. All of these animals getting dispatched. Bulldogs versus Cowboys. Gonzaga versus McNeese.
Cowboys, unfortunately.
Cowboys.
All right, we've got Jayhawks versus Bulldogs. Jayhawk is not a bird, even though that's what their logo is. A Jayhawk was someone, what is it?
Jaywalking?
No, it was like back in, before the Civil War era, in like the Blood Kansas period or so. It was basically someone who sided with the Union at that point in time. Yeah. I Googled a lot of these. I was like, what in the world is a Jayhawk? So Wikipedia can teach you things, man. I try to learn one thing every day. I learned a ton of things, so much that the brain ain't even going to keep it all in. So a Jayhawk or a Bulldog?
Give me a Jayhawk if it's a person.
Yeah, all right.
Jayhawk if it's a person.
All right.
Jayhawk.
All right, we'll move on to a Gamecock versus a duck. Two birds going at it, man.
Yeah, but a Gamecock's bred to fight, dude.
There you go.
Yeah.
And ducks are normally nice. Now, geese?
Yeah, like Canadian goose, I got attacked by one fishing one time.
Oh, my God.
I've been attacked by a pelican. He had my entire arm in his mouth.
Oh, wow.
Bro, how did you get that out of there? Like tickle his chin?
No, not easily.
Yeah, I bet not, dude.
Easily, yeah.
Because those things, and they...
it was scary. It was like I was
and
fishing.
They're big.
Oh, yeah. I was fishing, and you can't touch them. Like, that's the hard, they're protected.
Yeah.
So even if they're coming after you, I couldn't do anything.
But if he's biting you, I think that changes the
marina. I'm fishing on the marina over in St. Andrews, and I had one of them that was coming at me directly, and it was like watching Jurassic Park with the velociraptors coming from the two that you don't see coming from either side. And then I had just a little bitty mangrove, and my entire arm was enveloped, and like I had cuts from like the horn on the beak or whatever.
Yeah.
Like teeth.
Yeah,
but like they do enough damage, but it was scary, absolutely scary. It was terrifying.
Dude, how long do you think that battle was? Or not battle, but
it felt really, really long.
Absolutely.
But it was pretty quick. But the thing is there were people sitting there on the little benches watching, just laughing their butts off. And I'm like, this isn't funny.
Oh, that's a good story. That you might as well go ahead and press F8 because that's going to be a promo. I'll have I'll cut that tomorrow myself, so I'll know that around that red line just a little bit before it. I'll cut that into a promo tomorrow. I got my armpit off.
Get done with DJB, but we'll just remember it's right around 5:17.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just hopefully the four of our minds can come together to remember that. We've got Blue Jays versus the Zips. Now, when Akron first came up with this nickname, they I forget what they were before, but this was like in the 50s, and they did one of those contests for like the best name will end up winning. Well, before zippers were commonplace on clothing and stuff, B.F. Goodrich had made shoes for women that were like rain boots or whatever, and they were called zippers. So funny enough, they were the Akron Zippers, named after a woman's shoe, which I just found that out today. But then they did another contest, or because they wanted a mascot, they wanted a animal mascot as well, and so they ended up going with the kangaroo. So we'll count the Zips as kangaroos because they're zippy. All right, so a Blue Jay versus a Zip.
Kangaroo, man. They put them in boxing rings. Punch people, dude.
Yeah, kangaroos are fierce. Why weren't the Zips like bees? Wouldn't that make more sense?
I thought because it's where it's in Ohio, like Wright-Patterson, like Air Force Base. I thought they would use like an airplane, or I thought even maybe it was somebody else I thought was like a rocket. Maybe it's
Toledo.
Yeah, Toledo. That's
Toledo. Yeah, they're the Mud Hens.
Yeah,
right. Or is that the baseball?
That's baseball.
That's baseball.
Toledo is the Rockets.
Yeah, Toledo Rockets. Right. Yeah.
Let's move on here to our final two. We've got Texas Longhorns taking on the Colorado State Rams.
I got a steer. I got a big, huge bull, basically.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go Rams here, man. They're a little more agile.
I like it. They both got horns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Terry, Ram or a Longhorn?
I think we went with the Rams.
Oh my gosh! Let's go. Our first one, I would consider this to be an upset, and I love it. I love it.
I just
man.
think the Longhorn outweighs it by like a crap load.
That's why to me it's an upset, but it's a beautiful upset, and that is I've been waiting on this. All right, our last one is going to be Volunteers of Tennessee taking on the Peacocks of St. Peter's.
Bye bye NBC.
Volunteers.
Bloop bloop.
Volunteers.
I'll give you a bloop bloop for that. Yeah, we need to come
if
up
Rick
with
Barnes is coaching them, I go Peacocks.
There you go. Oh man, do y'all want to keep on rolling with this, or do y'all want to talk about some more things from the tournament?
Let's see what else is going on in the tournament.
All right. Well, what do you want to talk about in the tournament?
Well, as far as the tournament goes, how do you feel about the expansion, right? On Dan Patrick, which you can hear right here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about him saying 80.
They talked about, Dan Patrick said go to 80, and then you have 4 play-ins for each region, so that way you're not spreading them out. You would have 4 play-in games, and then the winners of those go into each region. Right,
so that's like 12 more teams, right?
Yeah, so it's 68 now. That would go to 80. So if expansion is absolutely 100% coming down the pipe, I think Dan Patrick has come up with a really, really good solution to it. Where keep it to 80. So now the CBS and Turner and all them, they get all that extra money. The NCAA makes all that extra money, but now you just got to find the 3 other sites to host those regionals.
Or you could have more regional home games.
Yeah. I mean, maybe so, but I think arenas would jump at the opportunity even if it's playing games, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah.
You would think so. I mean, Dayton, if you've never been up there during the first 4, it's a madhouse.
Yeah.
I lived up there one year when they did it, and it was absolutely insane. I didn't get a chance to go to the game. I had to work, but or any of the games, but I think it was actually one year that Dayton was actually playing in the
playing game
in their home arena, which was pretty crazy. So the whole town was electric.
I guess, I mean, I don't really ever have an issue with with expansion. I think it makes it tougher. I mean, it's already incredibly tough right now to win it as it is, but it makes it tougher, which makes the champion more deserving at the end of it. So
can we blame Florida State for this?
For expansion?
Yeah, now we're just going to expand every sports playoff.
I also think though,
but they've been expanding this tournament before. Why do we get so much? I'm just gonna have to become a Florida State fan so I can just start sticking up for Florida State. Maybe that'll make the listeners love me a little bit more, at least the Florida State fans. But oh man, they get, especially on Tuesdays when Max is in. Man, he tries to hammer them once a day.
I think the more they expand, though, it's like it makes it tougher and tougher for the smaller schools or the majors. I think the more games that are being played, because you need to have way better athletes and such, to go deep and to consistently do that. So I think it favors more of some of those bigger, blue blood type schools in a lot of these sports when they do that.
And go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and Coach K has been known to voice his opinion on the matter, and he said that the automatic bids for the mid majors shouldn't be there. Like, you should be able to play your way in. My only caveat to that is, then, if you're the Krzyzewskis of the world, why are you not playing some of these teams? Like, you already play nonsensical teams.
Yeah.
In your non-conference. Like, come on, step up to the plate.
I think before I want to see us go to 80, I want to see with some evidence that the conference tournaments matter.
Well, I mean, they do for an automatic bid, right?
Well, no, yeah, just for the champion, right? But like what we talked about earlier with Auburn being seated below Kentucky. I mean, Indiana State, I know that they didn't end up winning the championship, but some of these smaller schools, like maybe they don't get automatically bid in, but make those the play-in games. And don't be doing play-in games for the 10th seed unless there's like a legitimate reason and I'm just unaware and ignorant of that, which is, hey, there's been plenty of things that I've been unaware and ignorant of, so that's fine. Teach me and I will learn, and then I won't be ignorant of it anymore. But let's have all of the play-in games be for the 16th seed.
But you can't do that, though, because the main reason is because you're also going to have teams in there that have won their tournament that I don't, their conference tournament, that I don't believe should have to play into anything. If the current rules are that you win your conference championship, you shouldn't have to play your way into anything.
100%.
So at that point, though, most of them would be 16 seeds. So you couldn't arguably say that a team that, is 9 and 24, and then they get hot and they end up winning their conference tournament. They're a 16 seed, but they've earned that right to get there. But so you can't just have all the playing games be 16s.
Okay, and there's fair. And if we move to 80, we're not talking about 16 no more, are we?
No.
And it also sucks for a team, like say you're in a small conference and you're dominating. Say you lost like 2 games all season long in your conference, and then you go into your tournament and you have 1 bad game, and now you get bounced, and now you're not even in the tournament, even though you dominated your conference, and some upstart that got hot at the right time or won like maybe 2 games lucky.
Yeah,
they're there.
Yeah, and I'm not going to pretend to know all the ins and outs of this stuff. I think the guys who get paid the big bucks to know all of this stuff don't, you know what I mean, know it as well as maybe what they portray to. Who knows, though? It's a lot of moving parts, and that's the difference in basketball and football is how many schools actually can make these runs and go deep into the tournament.
Well, and the other side of that coin is with Title IX, if you go to 80 for the men, you have to go to 80 for the women, right? So now you have even more things that you have to worry about. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that go into. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, if you will.
Yeah. 2 minutes here. Who do you got winning the women's tournament?
Ah, man, I want to say Iowa because it would be a nice run, but I don't know if they have enough in the tank. Probably, I don't think LSU. I think they're too dysfunctional. Man,
I got South Carolina again.
Yeah, probably South Carolina, man. Honestly. I mean,
they got 5 new players from last year. They kicked butt all the season last year and they won it, right?
Yeah.
They got 5 new players this year starting, and they're the same way. It's they got a program there.
Probably South Carolina.
South Carolina, Terry.
I'm taking LSU with a dysfunction.
Oh, okay. I'm going with UConn. They got Paige Bucher's back, so I think that they've the strongest that they've been. If UConn, how cool would it be if UConn did end up winning the men and the women's? I don't know if that's been done at the same time.
They would have done it. It was 04 and 14 where UConn men and women both done it.
There you go, man.
I saw that on like Sports Center or one of those things. Like
ESPNPC.com for the big bracket challenge. Sorry to cut you off, Caveman Rick, but we're only down to 30 seconds. So, hey, go right now. ESPNPC.com. Get your family, get your friends. All of y'all get logged in for that. If you got to create ESPN accounts to make it happen, I don't care. Make it happen. $250 gift card on the line for Caveman Rick, Terry Ross, Adam Goff. I'm David Hayes. We will see you guys next Monday. Just remember, Jesus loves you and so do I.
Yes, sir.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
You know the statue they put up of Kobe Bryant? Turns out there are several errors in the statue. Boy, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one to get wrong. Like, of all of the things, like what went wrong today? We misspelled a few things on the